Hey there, it's Evan again. Um, I'm continuing the series that I've started where I basically share with you um, different facts and different things that um, were happening during the making of my first EP, Identity. And if you hear some stuff in the background, my mom's having a really fiery conversation with somebody while she's having lunch, and so it's joyous, and so I invite you to try, and I invite you to try not to think of it as a bad thing, because honestly, I think it's a really good thing. And honestly, that's even if you can hear it at all, so it's all good. Um, yeah, so like last episode, we talked about track 3. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm actually, hey, we spoke about track 2, which is that hype dough, and and that episode had a lot of twists and turns, and I found it really funny in hindsight. It was the first time I actually had to make a cut in a video, like which is really interesting for me. But either way, it's very funny how it turned out that way. Anyways, today we talk about track 3. Track 3 is called The Underlier, and just like in the previous 2 videos, there's some stuff I wrote down in 2016, maybe part of 2017, or I posted it then, but I wrote it down at the time when I was making the songs off of Identity. And so, so just like in the last one, I'm gonna read some stuff to you that I had shared with. Uh, I'm going to read some stuff that I wrote down while making each of the songs on Identity, and this is the stuff that I made about track 3, The Underlier. Here we go. With track 3, I wanted to put in a softer number because I am not all heavy and powerful on the inside. Oh, that's an interesting diction right there. Interesting word choice back then, 17, 18-year-old me. Anyways, hold on just a second. Yeah, so there's a good amount of softness, so to speak, in my heart. And the Underlier really embodies that part of me for this EP. I often carry myself as a strong, pretty much invincible character. Not to say that I'm like not that way most of the time, but I'm also not stone cold and apathetic in the least. Lyrically, the song takes a positive adult stance on a lot of rather dark subjects that I and many others wrestle with in our minds. And this ties in with emotional health. In fact, the Underlier is officially, historically, um, as far as like my musical, well, as far as the record of my musical history, the Underlier is my very first like emotional health, mental health, conscious song that's that way in a really overt way. And so yeah, like if you're wondering, it's like, oh, this is Evan's first song that like dealt with emotional health, and it's like, yes, that's exactly what the Underlier is. Yeah, so in terms of musical influences and production, the Underlier is essentially like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Ed Sheeran made a live performance at a pub or bar. It features loop pedal based sounds, a signature of Ed's, and live production techniques, as well as a prominent bass line that, at least to me, is reminiscent of the groovy, laid back style and flow of the Chili Peppers. The title actually came from a phrase that the vibe of the original bass line evoked in my head. The type of atmosphere and persona that the song could take on, right? Um, I also wrote the lyrics. I also wrote the lyrics to the bass line and the underlie. I'm working through a communication thing. Like, if this is your first like time hearing from me, I'm autistic, and and I struggle to communicate. Like and I struggle to communicate. It takes me a second to get my thoughts out. Just like any well, not any, like just like most autistic people. And so but that being said, I'm posting this either way because I don't really care. I'm uploading this either way because I don't really care exactly how I'm perceived in that sense. Because, hey, what are people gonna do about it? They can't change the fact I'm autistic any more than I can. And so, yeah. Anyways, and it's all good because it's like I don't let the fact that things like this are challenging to me. I don't let it stop me, you know. I think mom just like finished a I think mom just finished a like a timer that she put on the Amazon Echo. In case you heard something, well, you might not have heard anything, but either way, yes, yeah. So, yeah. So, well, I'm going back into the underlier. I also wrote the lyrics to the bass line, and the underlier is actually the only song on the EP that was written and produced this way. I obviously don't have the best time/content dial because the song was originally meant to be about 2 minutes and 34 seconds in my mind before I extended it to probably 3 minutes and 30 seconds, but it finally comes to an end at 4:27. What can I say? I like long songs naturally. It's like I just sort of gravitate to those, like not only as a listener but also as a creative. I aimed for this time after I had fleshed out the lyrics because I have a weird relationship with numbers that evoke personas in them for me, and those three just look really cool together. Like Charlie's Angels or something. It also matches the exact song length of the song Hotline Bling by Drake almost perfectly. Since both songs are 4 minutes and 27 seconds. Now, wait for the segue. And you'll hear what I mean whenever you reach like the last 7-8 seconds of the song. And when I say segue, I don't mean the wheeled vehicle that's really awesome that you see some people going around on. Instead, you actually hear, or instead, I actually mean, like segue as an SEGUE, which is basically any sort of like musical motif that flows seamlessly and serves as a transition from one composition in a musical body of work to another. And so really cool. So yeah, it's like last 7-8 seconds. Now wait for the segue. The main message of the song is if you're going through rough times in life, internally or externally, stay positive and keep going through until you get to the end. It will get better. Yeah, so that's basically all that I have to write about The Underlier. It's a very nice song. I really hope that you like feel something positive about it. I've learned a lot more. Like 17-year-old me, like um, essen- um, essentially he could only know so much, like given the resources that were there for him at the time. And hey, and 26-year-old me is able to say that because um, I've got a good 9 years of additional experience that he didn't really like get a chance to have, and so I'm really happy um, that I have more. But that being said, like if it helps you to believe that I, if it helps you to believe that I, if it helps you to believe that um, if it helps you to believe that like that 17-year-old me was just doing the best that he could to understand emotional and mental health with what he had, um, like then I invite you to believe it. Um, and if not, you can drop it and find something else that feels better to believe. And at the end of the day, I just want to reiterate and just remind like everyone who listens to any sort of music that music is open to interpretation. You know, it's always open to interpretation, and so it's important for people to understand that there doesn't have to be just one meaning to a song. It's not just limited to the meaning that person the person who wrote it like initially wrote it for, because oftentimes it's like when most songwriters write, they're really just channeling a bunch of different emotions, and different things come out, and so in times like that, it just um it like like in a case like that, a song can literally be open to interpretation for them too, like as the songwriter. And so the thing is that at the end of the day, like we as people can ascribe any sort of meaning to any sort of song or composition that we want. And the thing is that because there's no right way, because there's no one right way, like there's no one single way to perceive like a song and its meaning. Every single interpretation of a certain song is right because it can't be wrong. And so it's all good. That's the nature of art that is open to interpretation. And and uh, um, and literally every single bit of my art is no different. Like I might have my own meaning to it that I have no problem sharing with you, but that being said, in sharing it with you, I, I don't want you to think that the way that you're perceiving it or the way that you stand to potentially perceive it, if you choose to perceive it differently than how I am sharing it, like all that is still valid. And in fact, I actually um, like encourage you to like come up with your own meaning like for any of these songs, because like really a lot of them was just me channeling different emotions, and it's like that stuff just comes from like somewhere else or just around me or above, or it comes from somewhere else to me, and then I put it out, and essentially that's how you get songs by me, and that's how you get just art by me in general. It's like I don't just make songs, but yeah. Um, and a lot of great art, like historically, has come through stuff like that. Like Michael Jackson got the like the bass line and the rhythm section for Billie Jean from like from, as he says, above. Like it just came to him and he just put it out. Doom 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 doom. You know, just like that. Like that's the way that it came to him, and it just like that's basically how it happened. Anyways, like that's it for this episode. I really hope you can enjoy The Underlier, and if you want to listen to it right now, like on YouTube, then you can listen to it here on this card right here. And I mean, it's funny, like in the previous episode, I actually did like a right here, right now. And it's like, I think I'm gonna do that this time. It's like, right. so you can watch this video and this card that's gonna pop up right here, right now. Anyways, that's so fun to do. Anyways, like just YouTuber dreams, and just like dreams really do come true, you know? At the end of the day, I am autistic, which means that I am mind blind, which means that I can't really read your mind unless you let me know what you're thinking. And so if you feel called to, I invite you to leave any sort of comment like that's come to mind, even if you think it's like a bad comment, or like a mean comment. Like I'm fine with that. I welcome it all. If it's a good comment too, if it's an inquisitive comment, if it's just a yes, or just a Evan, keep doing this, or just anything like that, like any sort of comment or thought that you have, it's like I want you to feel as though you can be straight with me and you can be real with me in that sense, because that's essentially that's the world I want to build. And right now, that's the sort of community that I want to build, like in a collective sense, but also for you specifically. You know, it's like I want you to be able to come to a video and be like, oh, like Evan is like, he's real, he's authentic, and he's unfiltered, and like that's why I don't really edit these videos all that much at all. It's like Harlan and Wolf. It's like Harlan and Wolf, the shipbuilders who built Titanic. Essentially, it's like their sort of like work ethic motto thing was like, we just builds them and shoves them in. And so, yeah, and Titanic was my first special interest as an autistic person. And so, if y'all want to hear more about like my special interest as an autistic person and just in different things I've acquired that have come about over time, like let me know in the comments if you want to hear a video like that or anything like that. Either way, I love you. I'm really glad that you exist. Hope you're having a good day, or if you're not having a good day, I hope that it gets at least a little bit better before you go to bed, whenever you go to bed, even if it's not during the nighttime. And yeah, I really love you. I'm glad you're here. You're awesome. And I'll see you in the next episode. / I'll see you in the next video if you're watching this on YouTube. Either way, I love you. You're awesome. I'm going to turn the camera off now. Bye.